Hello, lovelies. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Amy, and I am a cruelty-free makeup enthusiast. In today's video, I'm going to be demoing, swatching, and reviewing the 2019 releases from the cruelty-free, vegan, and green-friendly brand Pacifica. So without further ado, let's get started. So my eyebrows have been done. I did cut them with the new Liquid Cover Full Coverage Lasting Concealer, and this is definitely one of the hits from the collection. One of my favorite new products from Pacifica is the Crystal Lit Moon Oil. This has blue tansy, quartz, and lavender in it. It gives such a beautiful brightening effect, and when you shake it up, it actually has these kind of swirls of luminosity in it. I don't know if you can tell. Focus, focus, focus. But it is such a gorgeous oil. I love doing it as my last step of my skincare routine in the morning and then proceeding to do my normal makeup. Okay, so to prime my face, I'm going in with the Cherry Matte Mattifying Primer. This is not necessarily a newer product from Pacifica. It's been out for a little over a year, I think, but it's just a nice primer to kind of keep that oil control in check. I find that for me, someone with combination skin can sometimes have some really oily T-zone, especially in the summertime. I did use this product when I was filming that short film. I used it on several of the actors to kind of keep the oil and shine at bay, and it really helped because we were filming like in the dead of August and it was so hot and their makeup did not budge when I used this. Next up, we have the Light Clean Foundation. So it is said to be oil-free, anti-shine, and a satin finish. When these first came out, I was super excited that Pacifica came out with a good shade range finally. In the past, their shades have been lacking, sometimes about 2 to 3 shades, and nothing's ever been really dark. So I'm super happy that Pacifica finally took the leap and made it more of an inclusive release. I think this foundation is gorgeous. It does have a satin finish, so you're gonna get a second skin kind of look. I love the component. You have this glass bottle right here in this beautiful gold cap, and it comes with a pump. So I'm just going to do about 1 full pump on my hand here. I've been using this foundation for a couple of months now, and I have to say I'm actually pretty happy with how it's turned out. It gives a nice glow without being too shiny, and it has a very natural finish. I would say that this is more of a light to medium coverage, and it is buildable, but it allows the skin to peek through. The display for this new foundation is so pretty. I was in Ulta the other day and they had all these beautiful crystal kind of decorations with all the new products, and I'm super excited to see a cruelty-free and vegan line have such a nice big display now at a place like Ulta. Okay, so some details about this foundation. It says, get the flawless coverage of your dreams in 30 shades, designed for real skin tones with the Pacifica Light Clean Foundation. This innovative, non-comedogenic, dermatologist-tested formula goes on smooth, covers pores, and lasts throughout the day. This formula is free of silicones, parabens, phthalates, talc, BHA, BHT, petroleum, and drying alcohols, and a huge list of other things your skin doesn't love. The key ingredients are hyaluronic acid, which supports skin's moisture, coconut water, which is balancing, and rose leaf extract, which has antioxidant properties. So after using this foundation for several months, I have to say that my skin does feel smoother. It also looks a lot brighter. So good on Pacifica. I think this foundation is a winner. I think it's the best. I'm now going to go in with the Liquid Cover Concealer. My shade is in 20 NF. I actually really love this concealer. I think it blends out so nicely, and you'll see when I demonstrate it here how it doesn't go into my fine lines. Now, to be honest with you, everyone has a little bit of lines under their eyes. I wouldn't say I have too many wrinkles. I keep joking and calling them eye folds because I do just have some indentations underneath my eyes. So everything kind of does go into them. So I can't say that I've ever experienced something that just covers my eye folds completely. But this one is really beautiful. I love this concealer. It is lightweight. It's creamy but not thick. And it just blends right out really easy. If you could see, it's already blended out. Like, I think it looks great. And this concealer comes in 12 different shades, and it's said to be lightweight and infused with coconut water, alpine rose, iris, seaweed, and hyaluronic acid to help eliminate creases and support hydration for a natural look. This concealer is actually one of my favorite items from the new Pacifica releases this year. I'm going to set this really quickly with the Crystal Rays Luminous Translucent Setting Powder. So it just opens up like this. I love the way that this packaging is. It has this little top, and the top comes up. Whew, you can see some of the powder kick up. And it has almost a net that holds in the powder, and then all you have to do is just bounce on the net and more powder comes out, like so. Now this powder is also luminous. It goes with the crystal theme of the new releases. And so there is a little bit of, because it's a brightening powder, it has almost like purplish and pink tones to it. So when I set my face, I could kind of see this like glow to my skin, kind of from like this violety pink brightening powder. So now that I set my under eye, I'm just going to take my big hourglass fluffy brush. Ooh, there we go. I'm just going to set the rest of my face. The next product in the Enlighten line are these beautiful radiance powders. So what's really cool about these is that they have the traditional Pacifica kind of little windowed door packaging. They have these beautiful upside down and forward triangle patterns, and it comes with 2 highlighters. So you have the rose gold, you have like a traditional gold right here, a bronzer, and then a beautiful blush. So I'm gonna go in with the bronzer first. I'm going to use my favorite bronzing brush. This is from Wet n Wild's Ice Dragon versus Fire Dragon collection. And again, I have nothing bad to say about these powders. I think they look beautiful on the skin. I think they're very flattering for people who are fair to medium skin tones. I'm not sure how well they would hold up to darker skin tones, but I can only speak from my personal preference and my own experience with them. I'm actually going to swatch all of these powders for you. So going from top to bottom, I'm going to swatch Rose Gold Shimmer. So that is the Rose Gold highlighter. And then we have the Glimmer Shimmer, which is a little bit more of a gold highlight. And then we have the bronzer. This is Desert Matte. Okay. And then we have Sunset Matte, which is the blush. So hopefully you can see them. I'm sorry, that's like a terrible swatching job, but this will hopefully give you kind of an idea of what the powders look like. They are very buttery smooth. They're not chunky. I think they blend very well. As you can see with that bronzer, I think it just melted right into the skin. It looks like skin. I'm very pleased with the results that I've had with it so far. So I'm going to go into the blush. This is Sunset Matte, this pretty medium pink tone shade right here. I'm using my Glamour Dolls Lisa Frank little unicorn blush brush. Talk about a collection that failed. I don't know if anyone remembers the disaster of the Glamour Dolls Lisa Frank collection. The 90s kid in me was super excited about it, and I jumped on this brush, but I don't think much else came from the collection other than these brushes. All right, so now it's time to highlight. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna use my highlighting brush from the Fire Dragon versus Ice Dragon collection from Wet n Wild, and I think I'm going to hit this with the Glimmer Shimmer. This is the gold shade right here. So these highlights are very natural. I have a kitty behind me. This is my kitty Lily. Hello, baby. You want to say hi to everyone? Say hi. Yeah, no, not having it. This is my baby girl Lily. I rescued her when I was in college, actually. I've had her ever since, and she is one of my bestest friends. She's like, all right, Mom, let me go. Pacifica came out with 2 eyeshadow palettes in this year's launch. So we have the Love Stoned one and the Moonflower one. So the Moonflower one is called the Otherworldly Eyeshadows. It has these beautiful like moons and stars on the component, and it has the traditional Pacifica little windowed door here and then all the shadows. What I was really excited about to see with this collection is that they put all the shade names under the shades. Before, in the past, they've had all the shades on the back, and you kind of had to like guess which ones went to which because it was never really clear. So I'm happy that they did that with this packaging. And then the second one is Love Stoned, and Love Stoned is all gemstone inspired. So all the colors are inspired by these gemstones and the gemstones meanings and uses. The first row we have garnet, lapis, emerald. And the second row we have black tourmaline, pink sapphire, and aquamarine. Aquamarine's really shiny and light. I'm not sure if you can see it from here. Next we have Tiger's Eye, Rose Quartz, and Amethyst. My birthstone. And then the last 3 shades at the bottom are actually highlighters. You can see that the diamonds are significantly larger than the ones in the grid above. And these highlighters are Opal, Citrine, and Moonstone. So I love the concept of the Love Stoned palette. I think it's a super cute idea. For someone who's a big makeup lover, I think you will find that this palette can be lacking in a certain sense with mattes and kind of cohesiveness. So with this palette, there's a lot of jewel tone shades, which are stunning, but you're gonna have to pull from other palettes to make a cohesive look, because some of these I don't think you would just kind of throw together. Additionally, I find that some of the shades, swatching and using on the eye, kind of were a little bit patchy, and the colors were a little funky. So the black tourmaline shade, this black one right here, isn't really black. It definitely, when I was blending it out initially, it was kind of coming off as a really deep blue. So just keep that in mind, because there's already like this deep blue with lapis, although it's a shimmer shade. So just keep that in mind. I think though, if you aren't gemstones or you are a Pacifica fan, you're gonna love this. I do think it's a really cute idea. You just have to use different palettes with it. The second palette is Moonflower. This is my favorite of the 2 eyeshadow palettes that came out this year. This is a really pretty cool toned palette with some pinks and purples. So swatching the top row for you, we have Ultraviolet, Stella, Luna, Athena, and Celestial. Okay, and now for the bottom row, we have Moonray, Firefly, Eclipse, Mercury, and Venus. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to use both of these palettes and demo them for you. I've placed down concealer on my eye as a primer. So now I'm just going to set the primer. I'm going to go into the Rose Quartz shade from the Love Stoned palette. I'm just going in with an Eco Tools brush, and I'm just going to set the eye. So I think I'm gonna do something more on the purpley side today. I'm gonna go into the Amethyst shade right here. I'm gonna use a nice big fluffy brush. This is the Seamless Sheer Blend from MOTD. I'm just gonna go in, tap a little bit. I wish this shade was a bit more pigmented. It's very pretty. It has that kind of pastel look to it, but I just wish it was just a little more pigmented. I find myself having to really build this up. And I'm gonna drag this up to almost towards my brow bone, just underneath it, to halfway down my lid. So we have a base of something right there. It's not too strong, but it is there. I'm gonna go into the Moonflower palette, and I'm gonna go with the shade Athena. I'm using my MOTD Build and Blend. So this kind of brownish shade right here. Gonna kind of work starting on the outer part of the eye and then blending into the crease. This is a very pretty shade. I do like this shade for crease color. I'm experiencing very little fallout, little to no fallout actually. I think I'm gonna go for a little bit more of a halo eye. So there's some really pretty kind of purpley shades in here. I think I'm going to go in with Mercury, this shade right here on the outer and inner corner of the eye. Okay, I'm gonna use the MOTD pigment packer for that. So I'm gonna go into Mercury. I'm going to hit the outer part and closer to the inner part of my eye. Kind of connect the two. I'm gonna go back in with my Build and Blend brush from MOTD, and I'm just going to kind of merge that shade at the top. In the center, I'm going to put Stella, which is this really pretty, like icy pink shade. I'm just going to use my finger and just press it on. I'm gonna go in with my Eco Tools smudge brush and go into that shade Athena again. I'm gonna blend out Athena, going back into the Lovestone palette. I'm just gonna go to Amethyst. This is the blending side of the dual-sided brush from Eco Tools. I'm just gonna blend this out. Kind of connect it over here. I'm gonna go use the ColourPop gel liner in the shade Crybaby. This is a pretty lavender color. I'm gonna put this in my waterline. So this is the new felt tip liner. I think this is great for precision. It doesn't bleed, it's really easy to use. So everyone say a prayer. I'm gonna try to do a winged liner with this look. So the liner is actually really easy to use. As far as liners go, my other favorite eyeliner is the Schwing by The Balm. That's another really easy one to use. This is the Cherry Matte Setting Spray. This is one of the other items that I do like from the collection. This isn't bad. It has the cherry and raspberry leaf as well as hyaluronic acid, so even though it's going to mattify and lock in the makeup, you won't look flat. You'll still have that moisture that continues to come back into the skin. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a spritz. It has a very pleasant cherry scent. As far as mascaras go with Pacifica, I haven't really had one that's become a holy grail. I don't mind the Dream Big mascara that kind of extends and shortens for lengthening and volume, but the other ones I have not liked. They have failed me. I remember I got the Aquarian Glaze one that was supposed to be the waterproof, and it did absolutely nothing. It just looked like I was just combing my lashes. So I'm gonna go in with my Root mascara right now just to keep it more on like the vegan natural side. And I'm just gonna place that on. Okay, so let's do a lippy. This is Pacifica's Devotion lipstick. This is in the shade Tenderness. This is not a new product. I've had it for quite some time. I just thought it's a very pretty nude to finish off the look. Okay guys, so this is the final look. So to wrap up everything, a final review of all the newer Pacifica products, things that I absolutely do approve of. The Cherry Matte Mattifying Primer I think is great. It especially withstands heat, so if you are on the oily or just sweaty side, this will definitely keep your makeup locked in place. The second thing that I really love is the Crystal Lit Moon Oil. This is a really beautiful oil for all different skin types that I think just brings a really pretty glow to the skin. Another thing that I approve is the Light Clean Foundation. This is a wonderful satin foundation that I think complements a lot of skin tones. I also greatly approve. My favorite release of this whole collection is the Liquid Cover Full Coverage Concealer. I think this is a beautiful lightweight concealer that's easy to blend out. I also do approve of the Light Brightening Powder. This is the Crystal Rays translucent powder for that brightening effect. I think this is especially beautiful on the under eye area. Additionally, I really love the new felt tip liquid eyeliner. I think it's great and precise. It's lightweight, easy to use, and I love the effect that it gave on my wing. I also love the Cherry Matte Setting Spray. I think it's nice, lightweight, it's not too heavy, gives a good mist. It does its job. Lastly, the Crystal Rays eyeshadow palette I think is very beautiful. It's nice to see some cool tones in the array of warm tones that we have out there on the market, so I definitely like this one and recommend it. Two things that I like but I'm not blown away by are the Lighten face powders. So I think the bronzer is very pretty, the highlighters are pretty, the blush is pretty, but I think it wouldn't really suit a great range of skin tones, and I think that some of the highlighters are almost too natural looking on the skin. The second thing that I'm, again, not blown away by, I don't think it's bad, I don't think it's the best thing ever, is the Lovestone palette. Again, I do love the concept of this palette. I think it's super cute to go by the gemstones, but I think that if you are someone who loves to do makeup and loves like using multiple shades together, you would have to pull from different palettes to use this. That is my full review of all the new Pacifica products. Hopefully you liked the swatches, the demo. If you want to see more content like that, please like, subscribe, comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So until next time, my friends, remember to stay compassionate and stay kind. Bye.